So, this morning, I'm standing in line at a Starbucks. American flag on my shirt, this one right here. That's it, just a flag. And the girl in front of me turns around, looks at my shirt, looks at me and goes, "Oh, you must be a Republican." And look, I didn't say anything. I just stood there and nodded for a second. Not mad, just kind of confused really. Because when did that happen? When did the flag become a party? When did loving this country out loud on your chest turn into something you've got to explain? And I'm not saying that because I think everything is fine. It's not. I'm actually going to tell you the brutal truth about where this country really is at 250. Because there's a lie quietly turning us against each other. I mean, if you're watching this, you probably already have a sense of that. I mean, you paid the taxes, you raised the kids, you saved the money, you kept your head down, you played by the rules. You did what they told you responsible people were supposed to do. And now you're watching inflation eat the life you built one quiet dollar at a time. You're watching a house cost what a mansion used to cost. You're watching groceries turn into a monthly insult. You're watching your savings lose purchasing power while the people in charge argue about everything except the thing that's actually happening to you. So no, I'm not here to tell you to stop being angry. Honestly, I'm angry too. I'm angry for the people who did the right thing and still got punished. I'm angry for the retirees who thought they were safe. I'm angry for the parents who told their kids, work hard, save money, buy a house. And now they gotta explain why that advice doesn't work the same way anymore. And I'm angry for the young families who feel like somebody moved the goalposts while they were still walking onto the field. So this is not a shut up and be grateful speech. That's not what this is. It's a question, a serious one. Who taught you where to aim that anger? Because this year the country turns 250 years old. That's quite a run, quite a track record. All good? No. Mostly good? Yeah, I'd say so. Not because America is perfect, it never was. But because America has made bigger promises to more people across more generations than any country like it in human history. We're talking life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. The idea that the kid born on the wrong side of town can still end up on the right side of history. The idea that your last name doesn't have to decide your future. The idea that you can be broke today, wrong today, lost today, starting over today, and still get another shot tomorrow. And no, America has not always kept that promise equally. No honest person can say that. But no honest person can deny this either. There is no other place on earth where more people from more backgrounds have been given more chances to become something their grandparents could barely imagine. We're talking more inventors, more builders, more refugees who became founders, more nobodies who became somebodies, more second chances, more room to fall down, get back up, and try again. That is not nothing. That is not a talking point. That is a miracle with paperwork. And it still makes those promises today. I mean, you've got a life that you're trying to protect. I know you do. You've got kids you worry about, grandkids you worry about, a house, savings, retirement, a future, a country you thought you understood. And maybe somewhere along the way, you started wondering, will America keep its promise to me? Fair question. But here's the other one. What promise are we making back? I'm not talking to a party, not to a president, not to Wall Street, not to the Fed, not to whatever they're screaming about on cable tonight. To the country itself, to the idea, to each other. Are we interested in America? Or are we committed to it? Are we going to defend what's still worth defending? Or are we just going to complain about it on the internet until there's nothing left to defend? Are we going to raise the standard or just lower the bar? Are we going to build something inside this country or spend the rest of our lives tearing down the only house our family still lives in? Because you don't fix a house by burning it down with your family still inside it. And I'll tell you who's watching. Your kids are watching. Your grandkids are. The ones coming after us and the ones who came before us. The ones who paid for this place in blood. Some of them are rooting for you even. Some are depending on you. Some are waiting to see if we quit. Some already have, but you're still here, and that means something. I'm a United States Marine. I raised my right hand and I meant it. I made the promise, and I'm still keeping it. And when I signed on the dotted line, I didn't sign up for a party. I didn't sign up for a president. I didn't sign up for Wall Street, the Fed, the media, the bureaucracy, or whatever version of America somebody is trying to sell you this week. I signed up for you, the person who played by the rules, who paid the taxes, paid off the house, saved the money, raised the kids, did everything they were told responsible Americans were supposed to do. And now you're looking around thinking, wait a minute, why does it feel like I'm the sucker? That's who I served, and that's who I still serve. And now I'm watching people who never served anybody tell you it's time to give up on the whole thing. Burn it down, pack it in, leave. Go find somewhere better. And when I hear that, I always instinctively think, better? Better where? Seriously, where? And again, this is not love it or leave it. No, that's lazy. This is, let's look clearly before you burn down the thing you may never be able to rebuild. You don't like it here? Okay, fine. Let's talk about your options. Try taking your flag to Tiananmen Square and criticizing the people in charge. See how long that lasts. Try standing in a Moscow square holding up a blank sheet of paper, not a protest sign, not a slogan. I mean, nothing written on it at all. They still drag people away for that. Never mind what they'd do to you if you actually wrote your opinion down on it. Try criticizing the man in charge on Russian state television. Go ahead, let me know how week 2 goes. Try being openly gay in Saudi Arabia. Try opening a Christian church in Tehran and evangelizing out loud. Try being a woman under Taliban rule and traveling freely without a male guardian. Try starting a business in China without wondering if the government wakes up one morning and decides it belongs to them now. Try walking into a pharmacy in Cuba and filling a basic prescription. But go look at the shelves first. Try leaving North Korea. Just try. You can't. That's the whole point. Now, don't get me wrong. America has real problems. I mean, real ones. Inflation is quietly robbing people who did everything right. It's the biggest enemy we got, I think, right now. The system protects the big guys and leaves the small ones standing in the rain. Housing is out of reach for millions of families. The dollar buys less, the rules keep changing, and the people closest to the money always seem to hear about the change before you do. So no, I don't wear a shirt with a flag on it because I think everything is fine. I wear it because even with everything that's broken, this place is still worth fighting for. And here's the part that should stop you for a second. The freedom to trash this country is one of the loudest arguments for it. I mean, you can go on Facebook right now and tell the whole world everything that you think is wrong with America. You can name names. You can tag the president even. You can post it under your real face, your real name, with your real profile picture right there next to it. And tomorrow morning, you can still get up, go to work, drink your coffee, and do it again. You can kneel during the anthem. You can criticize the police. You can criticize the military. You can criticize the courts. You can criticize Congress. You can criticize the president. And yes, when protest crosses into violence, people should be held accountable. But here's what's rare. In America, you're allowed to look your government in the face and tell it it's wrong and walk away. Now, compare that to the United Kingdom, our closest cousin, the country that gave birth to so much of our idea of liberty. Police have made thousands and thousands of arrests under communications laws tied to things people said through a screen. 30 of them a day. Posts, messages, online speech. And whatever you think about the details, the larger question is simple. Before you decide America is the worst place on earth, ask yourself this. In how many countries could you state your complaint out loud and still be standing there tomorrow to say it again? That doesn't mean your complaint is wrong. It might be dead right. But maybe the country that still lets you say it is not the enemy. And you know who feels these problems the hardest right now? The younger ones. I mean, you've got a whole generation that can't picture ever owning a home. They showed up to play and found out the rules changed before they even touched the ball. So they're looking around right now. They're looking for an answer. And they hear a word like socialism. And they think, hey, free stuff. That sounds better than whatever this is. And look, I'm not going to call these kids stupid because I get it. When the house is out of reach, when the paycheck won't stretch, when you slide a little further back every year no matter how hard you work, you start looking for somebody to blame. That's not a character flaw. That's just being awake. But here's what nobody told them. And frankly, here's what they probably didn't tell you either. The source of that pain is not your neighbor with the nicer car. It's not the guy who saved a little more than you did. It's not the woman down the street who votes differently than you do. It's not your cousin at Thanksgiving who just watches a different TV channel at night. It's the institutions that keep making your dollar worth less. It's the people who benefit when you're too distracted fighting each other to notice what's happening above you. That's the whole trick. They got you looking sideways, so you never look up. They take the United States of America and turn it into the divided States of America. And we let them. Every single day we let them. Because if socialism is the answer, somebody explained to me about the boats. You know, when borders open, people still risk everything to get here. Nobody builds a raft and floats back to Cuba. And that doesn't mean every capitalist is a saint. It doesn't mean every American policy is wise. It doesn't mean every person who says free market is telling you the truth. It just means people vote with their feet. That's how it works. And for 250 years, millions of feet have pointed toward this place right here. Now let me ask you this. That girl in line this morning, where did her idea about the flag come from? I mean, somebody handed it to her. She was taught that. And then there's this to consider. Where did yours come from? What were you taught? Your convictions about this country, about what's really going on here, where did that come from? Really, I mean, think about it. Every strong opinion you've got about what's going on out there, most of it, you didn't see it in person. You weren't in the room. I mean, I wasn't either. None of us were. We're not in the CIA. We're not in the FBI. We don't know what's really being said behind those doors. All we know is what we're told. And a lot of us have doubts about who actually runs the country. Who controls what? Who benefits? Who gets protected? Who gets sacrificed? And I understand that, because it's not like we haven't been lied to before. We were lied to about many things, about the Gulf of Tonkin. The incident that helped pull us deeper into Vietnam did not happen the way Americans were told. 58,000 Americans came home in boxes because of it. We were lied to about weapons of mass destruction. We went to war over them. And the man who ran the search later said, hey, we were wrong. And we had a first lady on TV telling the kids to just say no to drugs, while that same administration was quietly tangled up in a foreign war funding scandal where drug money became part of the paper trail. 51 former intelligence officials signed a letter saying a certain laptop had the classic earmarks of Russian disinformation. And then the laptop turned out to be real. A famous news anchor looked into the camera and told Americans right there in their homes that if you got vaccinated, the virus stopped with you, that it could not use you to go somewhere else. And then vaccinated people got the virus anyway. Millions of them. You watched it happen. Maybe it happened to you. In that Russian dossier, Americans were told for years there was proof, there was evidence. I mean, a congressman went on TV multiple times swearing he had seen it. And then the investigations came up empty. No proof, no evidence to show in court. His own colleagues censored him for misleading you. And then what no one was expecting, an FBI lawyer pleaded guilty to altering evidence in the process. Count as many as you want, the list is long. And it doesn't matter which team did the lying, because both did. That's the point. Every single one of us got played at least once. Because here's how it works. We build our convictions out of what we're told. Then we make our friends out of the people who were told the same thing. And then we make our enemies out of the people who simply watched a different channel. That's the whole war. Two people who would probably help each other change a tire in the rain, handed two different stories, who now can't stand each other over a fight neither one of them was ever actually in. And look, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. I believe that. But standing for something does not mean believing every story that flatters your side. It doesn't mean swallowing every headline that confirms what you already wanted to think. It doesn't mean hating your neighbor because a stranger on a screen taught you how. So, if we've learned anything in 250 years, it ought to be this. Question everything, especially the stuff you agree with. Because it's easier to fool a man than to convince him he's been fooled. And none of us like finding out we were fooled. So we double down. We get louder, we get meaner. We call the other guy brainwashed because it's easier than asking whether we might be. That girl in line at Starbucks, the one who took one look at my shirt and decided she knew exactly who I was, I don't see her as the enemy. She has different convictions, that's all, that were handed to her by people she doesn't even know, by people who don't know her, for reasons that probably have nothing to do with her, and everything to do with keeping us divided. So, here we are, 250 years, and we've arrived at this birthday at a very strange moment. Maybe the only moment in our lives where a whole lot of Americans think that they could just take this country or leave it. But again, where would they go? I mean, most of them never pack a bag, because deep down, they don't really want a different country. They want this one to remember what it is. They want leaders who don't talk down to them. They want dollars that hold value. They want streets that feel safe. They want wages that keep up with the cost of living. They want borders that mean something. They want health care that doesn't bankrupt them. They want schools that teach their kids how to think, not what to think. I mean, they just want a fair shot for their kids. I think that's a fair request. They want a government that serves the people who pay for it. They want to look at the flag again without feeling like they have to explain themselves. That's not extremism. That's common sense. And common sense is not owned by a party. Your choice is not limited to the one they keep selling you. It doesn't have to be left or right. It doesn't have to be red or blue. It can be united or divided. That's the real vote. Every day. In your house, in your conversations, at Thanksgiving, at the grocery store, in the comment section, with the neighbor whose sign in the yard that just makes your blood pressure go up every time you see it. So ask yourself, do my convictions require me to hate this person? Do they require me to mock them? Do they require me to assume the worst? Or have I simply been trained to see an enemy where there might just be another American trying to make sense of the same mess from a different angle? You know, there's somebody that you'd hold the door open for at the grocery store, but online, you'd call her an idiot because they voted differently than you. That should bother us. Not because disagreement is bad, but hating each other on command, that's not strength, that's obedience. So as we celebrate America's 250th birthday, I'm not asking you to pretend. Don't pretend the dollar is fine. Don't pretend Washington suddenly found wisdom. Don't pretend the people who broke trust are suddenly trustworthy. And don't pretend your frustration isn't real. It is real. I feel it. But aim it higher. Aim it better. Aim it at the systems that punish responsibility. Aim it at the policies that shrink your savings. Aim it at the institutions that lie, distract, divide, and then sell you the cure. But don't aim it at your neighbor just because they were handed a different script. America is not your enemy. Your neighbor is not your enemy. But somebody benefits when you believe both are. So question it. Question all of it. Question the news you hate, then do the hard part and question the news you love. Any victim can blame the other side. It takes a spine to question your own. And maybe, just for one day, turn off the people who profit from your outrage. Call the cousin you haven't talked to since 2020. Fly the flag without explaining yourself. Ask one person what they actually believe before you decide who they are. Because we are stronger together than they will ever let us believe. That's not a slogan. That's the thing they're terrified we'll figure out one day. We declared our independence. We survived a civil war, a depression, 2 world wars, assassinations, inflation, recessions, terror attacks, bank failures, bad presidents, worse Congresses. We've survived a lot, and we can survive each other too. But only if we stop letting them convince us the person next to us is the problem. Patriotism is not pretending the roof doesn't leak. It's deciding the house is still worth fixing. So as this country turns 250, declare your commitment to it. Not blind loyalty, not silence, not obedience, commitment. There's a difference. Commitment says, I see what's broken. I know who's been hurt. I know trust has been damaged. I know people are tired. And I'm still not giving up the house. Not while my family's inside it. Not while my neighbors are inside it. Not while there's still something here worth saving. You know, I made that promise the day I raised my right hand, and I'm still keeping it. I never stood down. I'm still on duty. Happy birthday, America. I still believe in you. God loves you, and so do I. Semper Fi.